We have a little critter working its way down the bank here, and it's a raccoon, but it smells like a skunk. Raccoons that smelled like skunks usually turned out to be rabid. Okay, so we're back on the river again today, and we are going to be looking for some new spots, okay? Now we're in an area that I have detected before, but this is a big river, so I have not hit everything. And I've been out for about a half an hour, and I really haven't found much until just now. I got my first thing that I think is exciting. Well, technically the second, I guess, but I have a homemade sinker. That could have been made out of a Civil War bullet. I mean, it's really absolutely no way to know. But you do find these made out of bullets, and you find a lot of these near campsites. I hear a troll train in the distance, so that means we might have some luck today. We're going to get in the boat, and we're going to, well, we're going to walk, but we're going to walk a little bit, get in the boat, walk a little bit, just kind of check out places that look interesting to me, like that bank over there. But we're going to stay on this side today. But yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's get back to it, see what we can find. I've already actually seen a dig hole here, so somebody was metal detecting out here this summer for sure. So hopefully they left us one sinker at least. Fishing rate. All right, let's get back at it. Found something else that's kind of interesting. Now, I promise you, we'll get some underwater work so you can see underwater. Where I'm at right now, the current is not good for that. So let me show you something. This here is another big chunk of iron. This is actually called pig iron. This is where they, back in like the 1700s in this area, people would mine iron ore, which is just rocks, and then melt iron rocks, rocks with iron, and then melt them down and make this crude iron bar, these bars, and they would sell these bars to foundries that would make cannons and plows and muskets and knives. So this was one that was lost on the river, probably on a boat or something, and the boat tipped over or whatever. I actually find a lot of them on the river. They actually call it pig iron because when they pour the molten iron into a mold, it's like a central channel with little lines coming out from it. And it's like a sand bed, a bed of sand, really hard packed sand. So the molten iron goes out, main channel goes off to the side branches, and to the old timers, they thought that looked like a sow, you know, a mother pig with little piglets, you know, feeding on her. So that's why it's called pig iron, believe it or not. Pretty cool. Let me show you something else. Also, I want to show you that I am finding a lot of targets. I'm getting a lot of like modern sinkers and stuff like that. So I'm not sure about that thing, but we'll keep looking. I think we're going to get some good Civil War stuff today. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be here. Okay, I'm going to move out from this spot. This is just our first stop. We got a whole bunch more stops to go, and some other areas I think might actually be a little better than this. At least I have higher hopes. I did just find this little homemade sinker, which kind of looks like an arrowhead. I think it's really cool, but this has definitely been something that was flattened out. It's not poured in a mold. Shaped like an arrowhead, and it's got twine on it, so that could be Civil War era. It was down pretty deep right there in the sand. Interesting. All right, let's jump in the boat and go. Moved about a couple hundred yards from that area. Try to get out of some of those modern sinkers. It's all these big rocks right here, which is a little bit unusual, so I thought we'd come over and try it. Well, anyway, I got a nice squeaker here, but the weird thing is, and that's what I wanted to show you, is there's like a hole in the rock. It's about big enough for me to get my hands. It goes way, way down, and it definitely pinpoint is going off. So there's something good in there, but it's so far down now. I'm thinking that it might be old. I'm hoping. There's it's like a gooey mud in there. A lot of that gooey mud. So it could be like old mud, I hope. You know, deposited a long time ago. Just haven't got to the target yet. A couple of rocks in there and get out. You have to dig in there with my fingers, you know. It's really just strange. Look how far down I am. All right, let's see if that got it. Get the old pinpointer out. All right, I should have got it. Unless it's a plate down real deep. Ah, yeah, we got it. Let's see what it is together. Whatever it is, or there's something metal right in here. It's a bullet. Look, I can see it. Can you see it? That's freaking awesome. So we're not skunked. I'm going to put you under so you can see what it looks like in the water. And we're going to check it. Well, it looks like it's dropped, so there could be more in there too. You ready? Hold your breath. So that was actually a nice little squeak, and it was down a good ways in that mud. So I think when we get that kind of mud layer, that's telling us we're on the layer that could have Civil War stuff in it. We got one Civil War mini ball, definitely dropped. Might have been stepped on at one point, and another little bullet that looks, that's a modern bullet. I'll fill that hole in, but you see it's like bedrock here with all these cracks. So a soldier could have been here, you know, they never just dropped one, so there could be more in here. Now, keep in mind, this area has been metal detected before, so that, you know, somebody could have found 100 of them right here and just missed that one, or there could be 100 left, who knows. Just dug a pretty cool bullet right here. That little hole right there, we're about 100 feet from where I found the other one. This is a 69 caliber mini ball that's been fired. You see how the top of it's kind of mushed over? So this was fired from some distance. Found this, and I just dug a small, I'm pretty sure that's going to be like a pistol ball. It might have a cut mark in it where they could have put a string on it for fishing. I'm not sure, like right there maybe, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be like a pistol bullet. So good, yeah, within a few feet we put 2 bullets. One is definitely fired though. It doesn't make me quite as excited as drop stuff, because the fired bullet could have been fired from a half mile away and just be just one bullet. But if it's dropped, you know the soldier was standing there. And thunder. It's supposed to get some really big storms this afternoon, kind of early to late afternoon, early to late afternoon, sometime in that time frame. So we that's why I'm actually kind of out much earlier than I normally am in the day, because I want to try to get a quick content at least. But when we start hearing thunder, we're going to book, because it's supposed to be some pretty big storms. So I've moved up river again. Did not find much else back there, and we have a lot of river to cover today. Trying to look for a hot spot. I do have something down there. It could be a bullet. It's kind of wedged in that rock. I thought we'd pull it out together. What do you say? Hold your breath. Well, that's obviously not a bullet. It was a sinker or a fishing weight. Okay, well, it's about another half an hour later, and I haven't dug a whole lot until just now. I dug something, so I thought I'd show it to you and just kind of show you what I have been digging. I noticed too, it looks like it's getting dark. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. Not a good sign. Anyway, so this is what we've been finding today. I just kind of threw it all in this little, I think that's a little meatloaf pan my mother used to use back in the day. But yes, that's a 69 caliber bullet that I found a while ago, and that's a 58 beside it. So a couple bullets, and I just dug this. This is a dropped Civil War era, well, could be earlier, musket ball. So that's a 69 caliber musket ball. Anyway, that little round ball was dropped, and I just found it here, so we're going to slow down. Current's not good. As you can see, it's all clouded up already, and I've only dug one target here, so we're not going to get a lot of underwater work, but I want to see if I can find something here. So I've moved a little bit, probably about 200 yards since you last saw me, and I got to a spot, and I'm seeing dig holes, you know, where someone has been metal detecting here. It's not real obvious, but when you see rocks like that, it's not covered with a silt, that's kind of an indication. There are actually a couple holes right out in there that I saw absolutely somebody metal detecting, and there's a lot of iron in here. And I just picked up a couple little items, which might be a good sign. I just found this thing here, which is a piece of lead. Looks like probably, that's weird looking. Look how smooth that is. It's like a fired bullet or something. Really smooth for some reason. And I just got this little thing, which I'm not sure what that is. It's brass, coppery brassy thing. So yeah, so there's some targets in here. Somebody spent some time in here and missed at least a few good sounding things. So we're going to work around this little area, and hopefully we can, you know, find a bullet or a plate or two that they missed. Oh, there's always that hope. All right, it's really silty, but it is clearing out, so if I get some good signals, I'll get you out for some underwater action. Now I got you out. I thought we'd dig this together just in case it's a bullet. Yeah, right there. It's a little lower than I'd like to see it, but why don't you go under and tell me what you think it is? You probably know before I do. Well, it certainly was a good sounding target. That's a spinner blade off a fishing lure. That's a good copper alloy. That's why it sounded so good. So if whoever was here before missed this and missed that other piece of lead, see that? Someone dug here too, look. See how all the rocks are silty covered, but you see some that aren't. That's where they were digging around. That could have been a couple weeks ago. Someone's definitely been in here. Well, let me give you an update of the kind of stuff I'm finding. I haven't found like anything Civil War yet, but this is the very last thing I dug, which is probably like out of an old fishing reel, I would guess. And, oh, what if we put a lighter? Probably Zippo or something. A bottle with that's not George Washington. I don't know who that is. Yeah, so that's like an old liquor bottle, but it's not that old because I heard it because of the ring on there, but screw top. Got a mason jar lid in here and some fishing lures, but nothing else yet. Okay, I'm still in the same area where someone else is digging, and I'm finding stuff, but nothing Civil War yet. I got a little squeaker signal. I went down to dig it, and it just turned out to be some melted aluminum, probably from a campfire. But as I was going down, I noticed a giant piece of iron. It looked like a base tour, like an artillery shell, right here. I can no longer see it because it's cloudy, but summer here, right there, and it reads good too. Now the fact that I could actually look down and see it is probably not a good sign, but it was right here. It's not the round kind. Oh, I thought it was. Yeah, there it, oh, okay. I'm feeling it's probably a boat anchor, homemade boat anchor. You ready? Yep. I'm not sure what it originally was. Giant piece of iron. You can see some old mark in there or something. Don't know what it went to. Somebody probably used it for boat anchor, but yeah, I saw that. I'm the first one to find it too, because I had to pull it off the bottom where it rested onto the rock. So I'm gonna mess around here just a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna keep moving. I got another spot or two I definitely want to try to check before we. Actually, I mean, the weather's turning really beautiful now. So, well, I don't know if it's beautiful, but it's bright. You know how I tell you, like the heavier stuff, like the coins and the bullets and stuff like that. When someone drops them in the river, they don't go far. I mean, they go to like the first nook and cranny that they can tuck themselves into. I got kind of a cool example of that right here. I mean, it's not a great target, but it's just a good example of what I'm talking about. I've got a nice little signal, and I dug down, and if you look, there's something in a hole down there, and I just want you to take a peek at it. Okay, I want to give you an update. I haven't found anything great for a while, but I've been kind of hoofing along, getting in the boat, going up and down the river. Here's some find that you probably, I don't think I showed you any of these things. Not sure what that is, but it looks like it's cheap metal. Of course, a bunch of sinkers. I'm over there now. I did find a couple of homemade sinkers since last time I talked to you, but I throw them in there. That's kind of cool, that little curled up thing. But yeah, up till right now, that's about all I've found. But right like there, this is serendipitous because I was zipping up in the boat, and I'm like, I'm gonna go over there. And I looked at the bank, so I'm gonna go right over there. And sure enough, I tied the boat right there to that tree, turned on the machine, and somewhere right there, there's a little hole, I found this. A dropped Civil War mini ball, 100%, and that's a beauty right there. Absolutely gorgeous. So what we're going to do is we're just going to leave the boat tied to the tree, and we're going to walk around with the metal detector and find some stuff. That's where I dug the bullet, and got another pretty decent signal right there. I'm suspecting that's going to be another bullet. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn the camera off until I get it out of there, and then I'll tell you what it is, or show you what it is, if it's something good. And that's what it is, this little tiny egg sinker. Oh well. Just a few feet from where I found that bullet and that fishing weight, I just found this little thing, which I thought was a silver coin when I first saw it, but I'm kind of thinking it might be a button or a silver coin. There's absolutely nothing on it though. I don't think it's aluminum. Man, it's thin, whatever it is. I think that's silver, man. Pretty sure. Could be a really, really worn coin. We'll get you a close-up of that. before the end of the video. I hate it when I'm like looking at stuff and thinking about it and trying to figure it out and talking to you guys at the same time, because I can't do both things. I can't do two things at once. I gotta put the camera away. Well, tell me the truth. How many of you called it? One bullet at this stop. I'm gonna unhook from the tree and go somewhere else. I looked around for about 20-30 minutes. I found a bunch of sinkers and stuff, you know, modern sinkers, but nothing worth really writing home about. So let's go ahead and move on. I mean, there could be some more stuff in here, and there probably is more stuff here, but we want someplace a little bit richer. Yeah, we do, right up there. We have a little critter working its way down the bank here, and it's a raccoon, but it smells like a skunk. So I'm going to tell you something. When I used to work, I was a health inspector, environmental health inspector. Raccoons that smelled like skunks usually turned out to be rabid. So let's go up here and look. I'm going to stay on the river side of the boat. Kind of stumbling along, but I think he's right up in the bank right there. I don't think he went up in the bushes. If he went up in the bushes, he's fine. Oh, you know, he went back in that hole right there, didn't he? But if we wait around a little bit, he'll come back out. He went up in there. I mean, it's possible it's not sick. That could be where he lives, you know. Well, not when it flooded, of course, but I definitely smell skunk right now, and that's usually one of the signs. Now, if he had rabies, he'd probably still be down here moving around doing stuff. They usually just kind of act like they don't know what they're doing. They don't have to, you know, the thing with rabies, you don't have to be like angry and biting. That's a type of rabies. It's called furious rabies, where animals get furious and, you know, they get angry. But they have another type of rabies. It can manifest itself, well, it's all the same thing, but it can manifest itself and where animals become docile. They call it dumb rabies. Just because an animal is really friendly and just like hanging out and not trying to bite you doesn't mean it doesn't have rabies. So always be careful, especially in the daytime, midday. Like I said, this part not even noon yet. The fact that he went up in the bank was a good sign. Maybe he's okay, because if he was really sick, he'd just keep wandering around. All right, let's get back to digging. We'll just be really careful because I'm actually working my way up there. We'll be really careful working our way that direction. Naturally, almost right in front of the animal den. That's where he went in the bank right there. I got a really good signal here. Now, there's a lot of junk in here, modern stuff. There's a jar right there. It's like an olive jar or something. Not that old. But this is just like a super, like a belt buckle signal right there. I wouldn't doubt it's not gonna. Oh, there he is. Let's go up and look at him. So he's not worried about us at all. He's moving along okay. He doesn't look like he's stumbling too much. I think he's just trying to get away from us. He's probably fine. Not too skinny. They come down to the water and they get clams and crawdads and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of these holes you see along the bank here, that's what it's from raccoons looking for stuff. All right, let's see what this thing is. If I can find it again. That's like the best signal of the day right there. Right here. There's a bunch of big pieces of aluminum behind us. I hope it's not one of those, but I'm gonna put you under, so hold your breath. Well, I can see it. I haven't pulled it up yet, but it's not a belt buckle. Let's go under and look at it. Yeah, that was down deep. It's just an old padlock. Looks like somebody beat on it pretty hard to open it up, so it's probably didn't have a key. Nice signal. That's like I don't know what kind of metal that is. It's not iron though. Let me show you what we're finding so far. I've been kind of putting it on the front of the boat. I dug this not too long ago. That's some type of rolled up tube. It's like a lead tube of some sort. I'm not sure what was in it. Got a shotgun shell base and a rifle casing or two. A couple homemade sinkers, a couple small ones. and a regular sinker. And there's actually a few more in my bag, but I'm gonna leave them there. See, there's a lot of bottles and stuff up in here. It's all screw tops, so I'm not even gonna look at them, but junk. Some little dumping area, I suppose. Well, guys, here's the deal. It's raining. There's no thunder and lightning yet, but I'm not gonna wait around for it. I'm gonna set the stuff out real quick so we can just take a quick peek at it, and then I'm gonna hit the road. This is what I've found since I last talked to you. Do you recognize anything in here that is Civil War era? Do you? Actually, this little thing right here. This is the base to a Williams cleaner bullet. It's a Yankee manufactured bullet, and they were only used during the Civil War pretty much. All right, you ready? Let's just take a quick peek at what we found today. I'll get you some pictures. This is some of the better finds. The better finds. Got some Civil War bullets and some sinkers. Oh, I haven't figured this thing out yet. I'll try to get a good picture of that. I found this just a few minutes ago, and this is actually an exploded artillery shell. It's a shell fragment. That's exactly what that is. And of course the pig iron and this bunch of the junk. You can see a lot of junk today. I'll always save the lead and stuff because it actually has some pretty good value for, recycling. Hope you enjoyed that little adventure. Sorry it got cut short, but we knew it would. We'll see you on the next one. I'm counting on it, okay? You be there. Till I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving. Where